na doctor yi bongo ade ya we but me offer special nephew dia banti me wa asem kan Dr. Prince you could see you Lakeside Estate and wa woda afina bongo so de ne diaba first one nephew fi a kire ho nti bongo ene wo you Mrs. Eva Ayuko Emma happy birthday and the same thing Prince and so diaba mate dia come we say ah hey meye na said your mu ye die mo ya ma ho ada ho pa Dr. Prince Yiku managing director Lakeside Estate and wa woda we free producer Prince obi mpe ho sa pepepe inti mayo bi ade amano na mayena St. Andrew Senior High School ase say omo abie kwan ye fanipa sukumu enti uba no pe school amano form 1 form 2 form 3 brai me mana kwa aba me ye LPM eno wo kasa wo no enti St. Andrews for ye mamumu na omo se form 1 no afi na results be bakra bra awaiting results obefawo our campus ewo asinfo so Accra new edubia asidun kwa ofe mankesim shama ena seshi asanwene so oye SHS courses ni nyina ebi St. Andrews and we are always in the lead. Fred 0244 699 696911 and 020 789 1004 and pay wafa Vodafone what dial star 110 hash and now refi any me kaiwo for Vodafone cash eto 5 cedis credit 5 cedis no amount 200 minutes o friends so e network bia so seliwa emu ede eti dial star 110 hash na talk creditor o de be kasa ko network bia so 1 week ti unya tonisa na chese fi ekomi mu na credit won sembe kan ho de ene na oti mu se credit birthday no efi ho se uni Vodafone ko Vodafone so na Vodafone eswede Vodafone say further together ene azel say yen system kakra enti asystem kakra azel we no enjeme bride ana and I was still Friday we any yashe ni Tuesday no it doesn't matter we Ghana need any day anytime you can rock your African print we can take Papa Boy we can take no their design no fefe sano na wa wo hwe down hana have you seen when we nefe azel for you intina da me come for azel ema wono obetimi de kente kra na looki corporate ene kofi buy o say watade ne ye mefe eye azel sano friend 0244 155 266 0244 155 266 na eyutinwe so dia hey mama emi papa ajusu papa efe na ebesan achama oba meseto papa na achama nti ko hey mama ho Z Nails and Beauty or Specters Ecobank echi ho ape obefre na 055 3837 201 055 3837 201 meda wonum ase papa pa ene afi ekwan ni mu atene anopai yen chase ni celebrate akua for Friday ya ankasa no omobeko park so otakwa omunni fia ombenya kwan etie yen nti ene wo ayiko bia chase fama akua for se nananum akua for emamu ayiko ejanum akua for emamu ayiko enanom mo ya ade dodo mo ma yeduane edi na omo pa ho ntoma na wafiti na wotwe mu a ye di farmers day no enti farmers week na Friday ye di day no na omo di atudwa se ya ma ye hu ebe emfie num ntam die na Ghana ye nsaso ya no aduane na chese ba na aduane die mu dia ye nkra nuane bia ma die ye wo ha na ebedi bi kura edi bia kwa ma no ne akoton ete wo sen ebra ye hye saa boyi na wo mo mudua koko wo mo mudua cashew we cashew fonim enkuto hye batafo nso wom omo de omade sede etu koko board enim se yesremo mumma yen solar torchlight any mosquito nets are hompo omade sede nyina no mumma yen torchlight na torch ne yepede de betu awiem ebe charge na eja ye wo yemfuo mu ana yekọ na yekọ ka afuo mu woni yenya ma yekọ bo yekura ye sesen kakra bi wo a anadwo ye ho ankyere ye mumma ye mosquito net ne ya ye dia ase ye net dan ni mu adem food sufficiency ne sa appeal die me de be ma bedwafo kakra pacho osisi Ghana card no obetum di atoka kakra enti opese otoka enche twen enche kra uniska ka wore Ghana card okwa ode betoka mi hu ye na msie mu ede na mo busa de enti abange ne bebregu ye ba deto me de be ma bedwafo Dr. Bawumia na yeka sa ase de Ghana card ne betoka enche no ye daily guide mu enti ye behwe ne aka edom kuma say omaya ye wan hu yehiem ni ahokyire mu yensan kura agege to wo pad besi abaso eye dan ne yakoma bi mu tax exemption enti omaye say yenti ase aban ye ma wonya tax waiver bia wo ma company bia tax waiver the companies pay 48 and omomo tax waiver no edom kuma say there be ehun hia na nso osi ehun hia na ya sanita no political analyst nie ene pesku bana be Frederick Ufiamio, head of communication Ghana's permanent mission to the UN, and Dallas Ampoma Williams, our NDC communication team member. English phone and Mbeka. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you. Headmistress.
Enti we dey besia ko yeda dem kakra be kwa kofa yitwi enye wura no ye mamu akwa aba
ya obi ade
mamu akwa aba ye mamu akwa aba se mu ho ye de ene ofa ya se wa mantem mi hu kofi first mi ti good morning sa
sister ya de
edem mu he de ye hwe ya ni kofi won so kra na de ye fa mo ho ampoma sa and mo kan de
in terms of show
honum se me de meti dem de mema mani so amehu no ma sha ase woni so enti ampoma be yedi kan bi de akiri kakra na ye busa farmers day ni farmers week won komo na me hu 5 years food sufficiency no na mani age but baby akoko chefo yi esre for solar torchlight ni mosquito net na misan kofi ye be kan sen ye be ma agi ni mienu sen na ma ye dru ye botaye food sufficiency no
yo odi me sha se
ania
me da se
oni se mu ko di farmers day gwada abai di farmers day am na Ghana asemu na mudi animu
ye nyina ni ye gina mo na mu
enti se de mu gina na mu no boy amane ye wati se de mu be ye
wadaruma nyaba ma min chiao
iwejo so
ohoye
adum
na so ohoye water ni
me da sepa
I like green.
Oh, okay. You like green?
Yeah, I do.
So me say me diabolic and you make one my dollars sisi ah.
Oh, I end
you like green again? You like green?
I like green color.
Green is a sign of freshness, new beginning.
That's good.
Old pair, yeah.
That's it. Mami chia ye ahwefo ni etifo. Na mi chia ebedwafo so nyina. Na me ndam asese mama makonya se ye ne Ghana from the din kom. Answer na no. I think say Ghana mbebunu atadwe ya te den ne. Ohwe eye the anchor katafa itosumienu na. Wase Lands Ministry launches e-jobs for all today. I think say jumedi bia eto asumu mbebunu yesumu eyeye. Aban through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, no, our agency be a friend of national, I think, NALEP, Omo, and Omo Disa Jumedino. Now, Jumedino, yes, on be trainee a year in 10,000 in the mining communities.
Okay.
Basically, to give them startup ideas, innovations. Omo be partner the Queen's University Canada. Na omo ne omo ye adwuma. Nti ne no be launch. Into ye bebu no na what these mining regions are 10,000 dey bi wom for modern na efa ohun koshemu bi. Maka ne say wie no. Nyaba ma main soso ne de odi kan na kuafo yendo mase kese pa on my personal behalf and on behalf of the government and the good people of this country. Me ankasa me papa yekuani na menda omu nyina ase wadwuma so a omo yema oman Ghana. In fact, if not for them, especially around the time Ghana and as we are seeing now, we are experiencing COVID and there was a disruption in the global supply chain. Now China cram timi ebi timi COVID timi ba na Ukraine na Ukraine ba Ghana na edin. I don't think say you experience any food shortages. And I say you call jina baby and na to be ebi mu a na oman Ghana yenye nnuane nto. And I recall sebi me can we need the Brazil say during the era of COVID, no, there was a time in the United States of America na aduane yedin. In fact, say okoto aduane a utimi salary from Besa ha ekọ Tesano police station just to get a pan no anase nsu. Emperor drew inside no a drew so no obedru okra na nsu ni pan na bi ni ho. It got COVID during the period of COVID. Itimi salary Besa ha. And around that time, it's now winter. Because COVID shall year 2020, February, pan shall say ding. I think the US experienced first case around February. Baby and material more Westchester area, New York. But we didn't experience same in Ghana. It's as a result of the fact that you create for no more. That does not mean say BBI pepe. I think that they need more. They need more to ensure say your 5-year plan no ebetimi materialize it to ensure say Ghana ebedrum pempen so bia say bi yen sheda nkra aduane bebre. I don't think that in the history or now in the life of any country no or make us omo nkra aduane kra because people have taste and all of that. But as a country no ebetimi the yen say yebo say bi ochina bi na say yenya tomatoes na do na say in toast and free Burkina na Malia ana Nigeria nya na free baby fofra yankasa Ghana for no you cry your for no etimi produce enough to ensure say we can sufficiently rely on ourselves to survive as a country. So we share the successes and I think say minimum penny yatina heading come about planting for food and jobs, the phase 1 and then when the phase 2 was launched. And I have so much faith and belief the Agric Minister, Honorable Brandon Champon. Mami Fakunye Sumano, a belated birthday. And no happy birthday. And no any birthday na woda. Honorable baby I will be an ma wodapa. And I believe strongly say with his leadership no, ombetimi abwa masa plan no. I have always maintained say a bad production of a year and as new akandia or see a day ma ye kria for na omutimi di ye omajuma said ye sene fatana. I think the government upon government have been able to provide not so much, but at least enough to ensure say betting and I ban biano for Edoma Kuma super year. And especially this particular government, especially with a project and our program they back to target certain crops and as a target certain producer, you doing say betting abo man, I'm a man in Yahusika di Ama aside the Jumaba. And the other day I gave the figures as far as a year planting for food and jobs in Yuma Ediabre and in Fasua Yenya. Menoka say on paper you trade you on surplus. But over a year Ghana more. Because of me I believe say share a year the chin no they won't feel Sebi omo kodo omo no buyer na so omo koyo omo phone tititi de also omo titina. The aka no say omo de beba a year edwom ama yato na yesu ayo ofi nyenye bi ato no. I think that's where the problem is, the selling honor amane no any we know because obekutimi akọ efuomu wo akoto a box of in toast bi 600 Ghana or the bedroom or beton maybe about 1,200 and 1,500. Now you wahano you want three. Now say be farmer no sinko unya so faso no enya faso. The one pam said no enya faso. I think that's where the challenges are because we share the statistics and the figures are we are producing well enough. But at the end of the day, answer the bedroom no. Now nyoma no akoye bibi oho. In recent times, we share nyoma boy cost pa no. We say food inflation no. An element affected the whole mix or the whole basket. And I believe that in recent times, bafomon kakra. And that means that sa problem na won finfion. Say ye kotowo efumu hwa. Answer the bebe job no na ye de bo no ya yire so no. No, yenhwe yenka wasem. And no ye say yankasa ankra ye dis adwumade. Yeah, dream maybe a enye bibia na ya ban. Yes, aban must put in measures and all of that. But at the end of the day, we are citizens no so no. Yenya tema kakra. And for so bebre no ye dream maybe a man platform. So dey be your man ye nyina your ho be ha. Nti ebi o mebo ye kuafo abaso kese. It's an say ye nyomo anka emu be den pa, especially me personal experience. Saying ka man bi anka adwen saying ka omo de omo skapa edwumi bi ne salance na akoto adwane but Ghana ebi ensisa enam nyoma omo yema yinti na Nsroma no come
ampoma yenti o farmers day beba so Friday but week exhibition e koso ene yeni so ade hunu ne dia ade dia ekuafo ni bi so de tudwa no
enya ba me da se mame enchia wone wahwefo nyina anopai eba no yenuane eho ensemo a megidi se to some extent mene kufibe ya adwen se abanya aba ekọ before this government no ono eye nhihye ye kama se be ya ye nku ayedwuma no ebegina ne naiso ye ka potoka se bi se agriculture is the mainstay of our economy. Intebani kuaya eni yensi kasemo ntoto ye wo my Ghana mu kuaye di mu akotin ye pa. Unfortunately, if free 2017 7th January ebesi sabre ya mene wo kasei. Yen kuaye no ehu dwuma atetwoma pa. And so this is a government or the project be by yes even though beto say sika His Excellency John Dramani Mahama apato hodada na odi din beto so say or planting for food and jobs na ye nyina ye nimu say odi sika ni so odi bedua nuane na penwuma ama Ghana mabunu aye no nka mfie nsom se me ne wote ha ide nka nuane abu e market nka enwuma abu ewo Ghana ye mabuni nso so enya bi aye. Unfortunately kuafo a na wono je fertilizer free under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ede ye wono adwuma no from 2017 eba yes free no ye twem they say mo beto to the extent to say drobi bia o ma ye kradum po say o mo beto fertilizers no na mo nya bi e na o mato ede aye wono foodie. And I remember Minister Penipa waban mu ye say so omo nya bi na ne bo ayedin a omo try say sebe emoa agyanan no ombe hwehwe bi na omo de agu ono fudie eso. And now me ne wo kase say planting for food and jobs no eso abamfaso ama me ne wo mienu a okoma college mu a e wo say wuhunu okoko for dua dwamu a e wo say wuhunu ukọ nkọkọ kaneshi edwamu a e wo say wuhunu enuane bo akosoro yie as I speak with you. In fact say also be bam pese enne na okita nkwada be miensa enuaba unkita be 100 cedis a untumi mo ampesi a wo ma na ni be den e begie e kire wo pefi say aban no wa failure. This is a great minister inya opportunity no ne Ghana for e kasa ye best say mpenin say nipa enyin tumu say oye mmobo a wo bibi de boa no a o de mano a ebe waste e wo sa ban na nkasa gitumu say wa faili mfie nsom when it comes to agriculture. Sɛ bɛyɛ a obi wɔ nimdeɛ bi a obetumi de aboa ma mfie baako a aka yi ne amoma kɔ opposition no ɔde bɛboa ma biribi asesa a ebetumi de ayɛ dɛn ɛde aboa koko akuafo esuo na wɔn a eyi nam esuo wɔn a ɛdɔ bayerɛ ne bɔnkye esuo wɔn na dadwen sɛ program a yɛsɛ yɛyɛ de nnuane ne enwuma aba no mfie nsuo akyiri ɛbɛkra gyene ku esi ɛwɔ Niger okɔ market sɛ wokɔtɔ gyene a menuaba wotɔ gyene 5 cedis a wanya wobɛnya 1.5 because na gyene ne ntumi mmɛnti no gyene ho ayɛ den ɛwɔ man Ghana mu ha ɛnso ne ministers a ɛhwɛ yɛnku a yɛdwuma so ɛna mo bɔnsafo a ɛgu wɔn ataa so wohwɛ fapem a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ɛtoyɛ ɛwɔ ku adwuma mu a na nka nyɛ yɛn bɔbrɛ ne baabi a yɛne nam yi. For instance, wohwɛ agric mechanization centers a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ɛde baayɛ oteki akonnwa no ɔne Professor John Evans Atamels nyamemfa ne kransie in 2009 no na agric mechanization centers a ɛwɔ man Ghana mu ha nyinaa no ɛyɛ about 57
57 then
57 centers.
Okay, aduonum
nson, thank you. Just 57 aduonum nson ɛwɔ man Ghana mu ha nyinaa. Otumi raising it to 89 aduowɔtwe nkron. Afei wohwɛ land size and I say hectares of lands are saa agric mechanization centers yi etumi ɛboa from 47,880 hectares of land in 2009 to 74,760 hectares by 2014. Now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama near what to me are here with regards to agric mechanization centers in here. And what they will share and Sasia, Potoka says irrigated lands. Why or say in Sube Kohibina irrigation dams now wanted to media ye one full all year round. Now a year 27,879 hectares. By 2014, we were moving into 29,507 hectares. One man answer or say a perform so muhiame. And unti or ye near friend no fish processing factory ewo Elmina. And then ubisa Jose, what is the state of that factory? Oko eye baby to say pram nyanya no shama sekendi takrade hafasini ene komantia eho nyina osisi modern co-stores e de maapofo no se be ya ukoyi unamoba bedroom pona no na ma na ntumi ameto enam ni nyina at least ubenya co-store a wo de begumu a ensei se wo ka se o preserve enuane se be ya enuane no ensei food sufficiency na se kire ne o se nuane ne beba no ibenya baabi di egu a ensei na abere biara no ibenya nuane wo market or affordable prices am obi enye bia den ato. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the fiction sector nia wotumi eyeye ebi no afi over 1,000 outboard motors the ma fishermen mo fan ko e madwuma
say ye bia na aban abeto aso because
I mean na hona say so much land you ask yourself. Near His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to me ye mfie 9 ya maboso just 4 years o mfie nso no e den na o matumi aya bitumi atoto de His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ayi ehun.
Is that to say 5 years and so adi hunu say ye be self reliant ye ayi benya ye nuane ayi bedi ye nhye dan kra no entimi mema na
ya ma oba se one ne na one na tena mfie nso se be went to me anya ne hwe ebra ye beji na free won sem no osabusuafo mo ma me mfam ne kakra ya mo 7 solid years se ono nhwe na yiku adwuma enyina ne nan so na enuane emu o man yi mu na Ghana fo ntumi nya bi enie ene wo ko market a evidence no ho se enuane bo aye den and it planting for food and jobs no I feel it and I'm not the one saying it. General Agricultural Workers Union, GEU. Oma babontia bekase planting for food no a total flop. What they ended up doing is say papa na no first no every year akutu honorable. Every village, in fact, village be a me quiet pa me who said the signpost see one. Papa ne ye juma. Every village instead of planting food no, planting billboards. One they go see ho. If adofo one they go see one can be reflect to election on ko yini. What I say? Instead of planting for food, nan kofo anya juma aye no planting billboards. Eti ene mfie nson abetwam akọ. Ye be pamo na fe na mo se mo makonya anisuade hunu fufuro bi a mo de gu fom a ebeba ama enuane abuo na Ghana fo anya bi adie. You see, ye be sere he nuano MPP for. The Ghanaian na mfie dube atwamu no. Se de no mo hunu Ghana fo no. Ghana fo a na ye hunu wo mo yi. Omo nte se Ghana fo mfie du atwamu. Inti asemo na nsa na wo besi asemo ne po no na wonim ne wo betumi aye ene ne wa aye dada mpani se bi da wonu mu ana woto aye den ebe ne yede ma wo no den pa na watumi aye a fe ya wo ko opposition no this is the time I will share yen bo se wo kita 5-year plan bia wo de ba amanuane abu ko kanishi dwem na ko hwe nuane na mba no de ba bode ne banche no say a drum pempenso be 2-3 days na ensa ya ni nyina ye den e pro ni ho wapoto na boarding and what the aba market e beton but say onya kwan to mean preserve aduane no nti na esei kuani ne so ono so adofuo no atete ne bawremu ne na busua ada ho ama aduane no aben no wanya tofo ntem pe ne nuane ne esei Ejidi say oti free ye nuanu mo a ewo northeast. Say His Excellency John Dramani Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ene Alhaji Bawumia mo so mo kosi factory ho mo de be process watermelon. Mfie nsunnie. Omo makuafo akwaje besia. Ebi mo de akodo watermelon no aba atofo a mo benya na nka omo nsaka mo sika kutu ya besia no. Omo nya atofo no watermelon na epro. Na se wunya akwanya ebegina simpie so a instead say wono mbe kasa kire omo say yen na ya mama boka nte bi aban be pesika na de asomaso no makutu ya mo besia no afi na wo san be hye abo akese obre wunya mfie nso wantumi amfanya hwe ti e be sere Ghana for the only solution to food sufficiency His Excellency John Dramani Mahama the 24-hour economy no agro processing ewom yes 24-hour economy na agro processing mutumi say that link to mechanization centers irrigated lands or the buy ne oye or fishing ne oye makuko ekuafo afa ni so ade huni say ye be make sure say ye nuane no ye mfa nko in the raw state etie no ye be process wo ye man Ghana mu ha ye dibi na ya export bi say be ya Ghana economy ne betumi agina na nazo. So the only savior to this economy is the 24-hour economy of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Nenye boshi bi ayesha intumi ni so.
Yeah, uncle.
Madasi. Amencha wankasa. Amencha azavok. Amencha kofi ne menu ya ketwa free NDC. Meche kuyafo na titru machia me mame ande mai sahikojina.
Ande mai yekuya.
Ogre.
Tichiam.
Meche mum creating. Meche sahifom creating. Ekuyafo creating kuyafo nyina mechia mo. Moye adumason amagana. Na sister ya ansana mebe ho menchia agbesese gbefia ene wambo. Na asembi ha me kakra sister ya. But any crop before that no. Many are aware. Aka Anaman, aka aware. Our old glens Adabraka. Umame Aka baby. Ante Agnes Ajua Oparabia. Mama, na memfa okrensie. E bompa se emran beso na yakra wachi brewo. Enra echi kwesi ade na eye ne dapen baako. Na ensem ha sanka yebetra ha na ma yense yankasa yenkan topics a anka yebeka nsem pa but we are restricted. Bibia eye mesre wo papers mu ure ya obo abia samwa o say e pamna ya pamno no e man kura yesre o mu school and I'm say eh any polafoko ni ko abraje po o mede na munum say ya na wo free ho a yankasa Bishop Peter Apia Texas or can be for LGBT who I think said these are some of the comments that may move as well crying copy. Omo hwe omo ho yi wo LGBT LGBTQ ano yen tumi ento to aso nti say ope popo dina say wo ba be ka say e ma ye nye no ma papa pe ba bitra because Catholic Church no does not entertain those things. Most start here yen na be jai amamo. Na start there ha me asna be kuafo de kuafo de na ehia pa no so. De ha me pa. Bibi koso wo memu a we should be very careful. Nra chi BBC wo asanteman any domafo entem. I would have loved say I know we anka emba public domain in terms of discussion. But mufidwie mu ha your sister station. Opanyine ba ko wa offer rather kabra from Pomaso. Or your interview be. I didn't like the interview. Men are making some people, but any other people. To the point to say we interview sub chief Bill say when himself friend anasa for Kantanka or wasanti. Nen sem no kaya no emfa somdwe ma. National security and some amote yenti a sanction say the interdiction injunction I the two another man so say man nko brekum ayi no. What is it that you couldn't have quelled? And can traditions come say na kan ko pie ho na pintini twagu na manone fo hwe tourist attraction. More the injunction ato do man so. Na amanfo afa ho interviews ahoro diabolic interviews to the point that Nana Safu Kantanka na stand to be corrected if it's not the one. That case is so dia say brekumfo omonso no ene omo brebo nya na asante mandia. So me Nana mama yanke kama yan trans can send you this age and time obi nso na brebo ya wodia. Nana come again. I am mama Betty so sir. We are not in the stone age as slavery any longer. We are all Ghanaians. And no region or no tradition should feel that they are more supreme than the rest of the other regions. We will not entertain these things. Okay, come on, mama, but to some to two some with you. Monquele galam say ne semon sasem. Rather than say traditions, me no can him say a beck on my abomuno. Yes, say don't mind see what. Anke bi asembisi e na ka omoko akoye eyiye no moko omode your friends say akonde na eko. And the way they are demeaning the Mahene and the Doma people, we should be very careful of the things that we are doing. To move break for us, move yi the Mahene up to natural, and I must say you swear allegiance to Ashanti. I have no problem. By yen making sure say ya can for yen to yen no maybe ma yen who me ya man for because baby I con any yen. I am for you nim some be kan ya bom no afi di adane ntokwa se muntu mun ko hia under one function kura pank bema traditionally ya kasa this is our culture, these are our colors hwe de modeba mombo mama betu so mama nsa so obadwam na yeko ka wo se obi bre bro ne nso egu ne yam e ya odi abrekonfo ya mode so obi ti asantema wo tumi ka kire sa mo bre bro ne nso na ya ne dia. I feel sorry for this country. And I think the earlier we stop this canker, the better. One jaya, your best sorry at yam. Don't come and divide Ghana for us. And we must see ourselves as such. That kingship or chieftaincy supremacy, we should stop it. I'm why. This I Ekuyafo. A bed domas Kesiepa. Menuya Ampoma or Shas or can say, or Nekofi Aya, Adrian regards as Kofi can say. Omo abano abon homodin okuasemu and no so I can say ofi say aban horo abano omo abomodin ewokuyayum. I disagree with them. Aban horo aba akọ after Kwame Nkrumah omo digana nhamo when it comes to agriculture. Just like enye de hu hia ene sa afi bia na hwehwanimu ye de no ba begu ho na mpanyimfo akotwa ho ahia na ya kekansa na watra na ya ja hoko. Now the main problem of agriculture we are not solving. Kwame Nkrumah, in his wisdom, no person agree and as a queer any of the chichiro man. nti wo den hyehyɛ pa egu hɔ nhyehyɛ pa na bi ni sense ye bɛyɛ irrigation nti akoso mboda na yesi ye no na adwemu pɔ ne sɛ ye de bɛyɛ kuya all the way to the north. Now was stating when a 7-year development plan must say the northern part of the country and they be feeding Ghana and West Africa, and we can do it even today. Today our technology we can do it better. But I come here to say you just have no money in a go. Kwame Nkrumah ankote operation cow leg, ankote operation stop what say. Yem pam wo mo de anantwie ba wo man mu. Aban nankasa AC ranches. And also more amode anantwie fi Mali ene Burkina Faso no ho kroneba airban. So what the 100 by Oman Ghana ye 10%. Omo de ban so before so mbe free ha no na best omo awu bebre nti che se Ghana a star month na yenya sebe anantwie ne bebre. And Abanankasa sea ranches ahodo. And ye de sebe anantwie egum. Abanankasa sea ranches omo de omo nantwie ne ba omo nkone na nanam amanfofuo mu nsem but emom no ya omo beko akogu ranch mu to omo wo aban agene 10% ansa na omo be san ko back. No na me etumi esi a friends a water cannery polugu so meat factory ne normal so ya akomko wo hwe picture e kura me ha na se mo yibetumi afa a water canned beef into say na yete ha Kwame Nkrumah breso abagimi breso na yankasa ye canned beef wo mamu ha ye bibia everything fruit juice ye Ghana for sorry ya almost ye tomatoes no nsuo nko a netide na wodum de ntia yankopon ye asase ne say wodua tomatoes nsuo nko a no ensa bi wo ha ye friend Branco no time Nkrumah ho na ye sa ensa no ye di tomatoes nsuo ene de ye one of the best non-alcoholic beverages na e wo member na ye export ye betumi use ye no man na ye anonom die bebre but the yakoyen say ye jai irrigation part na gu ho emu na ye dua ye jai gu ho tomato canning system ye jai gu ho bibi biara nka ye state owner na eboa ye no ye jai ni nyina gu ho na asase ni gu ho na essay sa I would have expected say ban person who say irrigation system should be the priority of every government. Oko is it Singapore? I stand to be corrected. Omo ni hwe. Omo ye island. Ensuo na atwa omo hia. And omo ye omo say ensuo no ye beye say ye amanfo omo de omo no ma efa ensuo no atwa mko no no. Ye basic port ahodo na ye de atweska. De omo nya ya no. Today Singapore the way ye hu omo no. Wo kwa che say e ye di kan keke. Ghana, Nkrumah started the same thing and laid the foundation, the right foundation to ensure, say, by this time, and can Ghana ni bien one home bachelor so near Jumaye, through queer and other things. City planning be beer and pepe. Mobile na mobi twa be beer mo to be beer guye. Queer Atomic Energy Commission, you're setting up. Sanka ya de behwehwe no baye mu ne no ma apart from giving us energy no. You send ya behwehwe medicine be beer mo. Mo ba to ni nyina gu. And na kuafo this can do sa sasa combine harvesters ne normal ye de value addition to tomatoes ne banche ne normal no yen manufacture no wie mu egugu Japan, China, UK ne your friends say Germany mu our duty say abane say ye be krasa no manaba na no buy na ye dua no yakọ add value to it na say no buy na ye do na say be pro you have done nothing anka me ti hey anka me hwe say enna me sorry na say me se me kope a body is somewhere. Me call government warehouse and maybe body and na pro. Uko se hwe body a pro to say a buso I omo free hakono. Omo to body a draw back just under 20 cedis. No number. Kuyeni abre adria bibia manaba no. Yenkote a kuyeni ade a esa nka no so onya ho faso no. Emmanesa. Eno no mo kosere mosquito net 2019 ton 2019 again torch keke torch solar torch ene a friend say mosquito net up to date kuyeni no nsan kan ye koya na say buy na say Farmers Day president ekojira ho wa camera of papa kan ye so for say arrest pass am ye ko ni yakose Nsroma bia hwehwe omosem the Farmers Day as was instituted in the 7-year development plan by Kwame Nkrumah in the 60s no it's not what we are seeing. By this time, Uncle Kuafo no more sika. Omo nko mu kura o man mu. Enso yesisi Kuafo sa Cocoa Board CEO. Nothing, so you say obedi the birthday, no a branded chocolate. Yeah, cocoa na ka chocolate. No, the pictures are good so. Kuya no a phone no mame chocolate no nya bindi. Wo brand ya na odi acho ko a media person. Okwa ni PRO. Esika nko na mudi wo mra kura ebi akoko no kura mo wankasa mo ndua bi. And you are Moses see akuyafo, Moses see akuyafo. Omo so ya come watch something they feel so that is the order of the day. Enko ne sa.
Omo to koko no mo ntu akuyafo ne ka.
Koko na ye two mu no. Akuyafo enyo no musu say omusika ma no. Ana me wa
omo di koko na kwa aban ato anso musika ne ba
ana koko board di kana wo kuani wo di okoya na so board omo se
kuani bi se odi ni koko akọ
even this news last week was saying they were complaining say pieces ni niska you understand enti kuani no edien pa ne ayama kuya no aya anka se eya kono se omo twagu ato magalam say for because they don't get any value for money. Who call Brazil? Almost create any said yes, chocolate. My cancer had. I remember 2012. Is it Tema or Mokoko processing whatever? No? CPC. About all times him. Send uncle open crofwa. Training woman. One can how any tema. Crofom ran on training woman how to make chocolate. Now movie I am more a friend say a mini machine some the of chocolate. I'm saying wow. Instead of you going to the hinterlands, maybe you do how to turn the cocoa into value addition. What in Kraha? Any term, and open for has or go there, make it a policy as cocoa board or whatever it is CPC. Now go train you on machines. Into Brazil, no obiati ni cocoa. When you saw a reserve about 1 bag and I say 2 bags be now what bonnet to say amonching as chocolate. That is what they do in the villages. But nothing. There's nothing. You bet me the beans, a bro, a friend is saying, tokwa, wheat, nessa. You bet me turning the economy around. But lack of foresightedness, greed, because you are sugar factory. The okra sugar ban on person a baby. Bedria and moi. The okra moi ban on person a bedria mo. Inti a fife aveime ne a fife rice ayinuna egu ho eno eche na mte say obi eno na mkenkan ye so obi abeji aveime die no opese oni local people no a partner na nkomo ye. It is government business to have ensured say yen yesterday sasika no start in conclusion sasika no mo sama magnu say agric minister what can say on be more musika na asase am on be dos ne no 5 years time na no wo abano ko plow asase no say northern part na be ko wo abano gi asase no as the main stakeholder na plow ye bibia na supply the city let them grow it na omonye 20% na aban nso wa fa wo de enye say wo discover share ko say so omko to asase fa no esika no ebeshi.
Thank you. I feel my enking kind comments kakra. Hamza Jr. Demise Shosi, good morning. Watching live from Kwanta Uti region. Yeah, Brian Champon was booed. He should know how Ghanaians are suffering. I see. Pedro wa Maldina Cruises watching the best show live and clear inside Indianapolis, Kumasi, Tanoso, Kesben Junction. Okay. Meshach Echampon says, great show. And then Dr. Downblow Brimso Apeusika. The NPP government is a curse on Ghanaians. In today's Ghana, the average citizen is seeing a lifetime suffering, which can be equated to that of Somalia, as if this isn't enough punishment. The NPP government wants to create a Eswati. Abladefie Kuma says, I want to tell Dr. Baumia that buying cars on credit with Ghana card is not what Ghanaians want. Baumia should give Ghanaians food first by doing something to reduce inflation before he will talk about anything. Kwame Eugene, good morning, yeah. The NDC guy is doing propaganda too much. Ask him to come to Kaswa New Market. Food stuff is cheap. He should stop the propaganda. JM never again. Eric Ofori. This NDC guy is a very good communicator. And then Mwamoto credit in Mube Jai pa na yakoye ni credit in Kwana Motonga. Musa Batwa, import restrictions, regulations is an unpopular decision, and that's going to worsen our situation because we are not self-sufficient nation. Therefore, we should have a deliberate policy to improve local production before thinking of this import restriction. Adekye Boache, government has upgraded the Sunyani Regional Hospital to Sunyani Teaching Hospital to provide tertiary healthcare delivery and train medical doctors and other health professionals. And Udanka Kwakru says Mahama is trying to copy from Nanado 1D1F initiative. Very funny pa. Okay. Kwame Eugene Makainti. Bosheba and Misty Gosuzongo, patriotic voices, still pleading with Ghanaians to have faith and support President Nanado's government because he's making every effort to transform this country with his good policies. And then Petit Emmanuel, you're right, Daddy. Did that again. I don't get it, but Mze Makai Ewi eti. Mad Lion Fuhidiemu, good morning, yeah. Please tell Ampoma that Mr. John Mahama and NDC have no moral right to talk about agric sector and issues. Why am I saying this? Between 2013 and 2016, NDC agric growth, under NDC, agric growth was 2.95%. If he cares to know, the first 4 years of NPP 2017-2020, agric growth was 5.8%, and indeed, not this same JDM who taxed Cutlass. Is it not this same JDM who taxed Cutlass and he was a president? Okay. Ampoma? Yes, Kofi.
Remember 1 minute when I say you're going to topic.
And because I can't topic so. You're gonna carry Kotoka.
Oh, I think so.
Oh, but TBB if you
two.
Time no.
Oh,
second issue.
The person your mom bia wada
why? What if you yes I ain't to me call a third issue need the can so. Abo Ghana card.
Oh, and I mean tinito because always have bemudia because can be also me clear free or so always have bemudia.
So yes that make
no they are saying 1 minute.
One count as in 2 minutes.
No,
it needs to have to go round. I wouldn't say fair and balanced. Me more trouble be
anyway,
if you 1 minute.
I was expecting say this discussion will bother on making sure say you care for no bomb ambassador but it appears the NDC cannot do away with politics because again say there will be at the buy-in. When you look at the figures, the facts and figures are, even your best performance in 2016, is our worst performance. Munya 2.9 in 2016. Even in COVID time, you have 5.9. Again, so we share a year landing site and also coastals are working. This government deliberately, you see 10 of them. We have a deliberate policy to address agri produce. One district, one factory. About 70% of the factories are agri-business and are agro-processing. Then the last one, when you look at food inflation, about 80% of Inyani are imported as a result of our demand. Now the question is that, how do we fix this? And nothing this are import restriction. So clearly, and Canada would have expected, say, a Farmers' Day, but not this politics. By a bad card, no swag. We will become division too. I mean, so me that's it.
Yeah, okay. And I'll bet you 1 minute. Okay. Oh, the best show time. Yeah, yes,
Mesre. Planting for food and jobs. Mesre, Mamu Gina simply so a mamon can't because Ghana for you now, dear to say a total flop. And ye,
oh, no, doing so.
Sicano now will be dealing your phone at the demo. And there will be a oko market in Muse by the creme free China and I say US and a back, and so by a boy heading. Ya oko market about your body, ya cra if free Cosmokaya and a bagana, and so no boy heading. Into policies are moody good a form mfie nson yi no bibia da di se mantwa taw ne se na mamu tie de a se ne nka ye de tumi hye obi ansa nko betumi abu oman no se ye de sika ne ma na o misappropriate no de ye ne ma se be so mamfa so emfa ma oman no me boku ani na ba so na komode no aya so nimfa so se wonam na ye yo na wo yem ya komade wa ma wo sache wo yem ya se yem wa ba so ye kire kuafo ne haw amfie nson wantumi ansolve ye kire se ne na his excellency John Dramani Mahama dem o free seedlings munko dua kokua kuafo ne ye keka ho mo ba ye mfie nson no magye sa ne ma nyina free won nsem we decide on and the go no emfuo emura wo no mfuo ase no ne bo aye din won ntumi nto sika ni won no de afa laborers amoma kodo mo nsa ase amom ne keka ho. These are the challenges that kuafo na face e form na nya so obegina simpies no gusu a hebo ene kokko kuafo kwoto mo kokko wie haten so eto no mo dimrika kokata so ne keka ho ya kokko na wo nyina wie a so mo koton no mo kodje mo sika no omo de kwa omo motokoko no eni sika on di tuaka to bi awa de kosi awowa okwa was mpacho wo mo afama me na me fante me koko nika. For the first time in the history of this country many me who say obi di koko egu apawa so awoton e didn't see that because what the kwa buy ni sika wa de ma no then you fante apawa so no wonton. People are smuggling koko no echo other countries ekoton because what they all call a gauta ganama oton ya nsa beka ni sika. Meanwhile every year aban ko gisika eba so de beto koko mo di sika na ye den na matete offices na mo de change mu taste e koko ko ani na wonam nsuom wonam muram hwese ko Ghana begina ne na so no na mo short change
1 minute no apa ho wo de wo card ne de ni bi na e kan.
So one prompt me say something me ko card ne so.
That's the first one. With the card ne so.
Fantastic. Yeah, card nsem no nanka me hwese ko fi be di kan akasa nanka matiase because ma mentiase.
It wouldn't be fair on the share family.
Yeah, I'll continue. My person me say na me hwese nka obedi kan akasa bia na omo wonkyeremu bi a omode ba kwan betumi use Ghana card no. Me refi me de ndaka no nka me de ba. Na ibetumi use the atok
me fa daily guide man na me money
no makanya mentiase
okay
until what can
me interest
because yeah elsewhere baby akofi efiri eba oye adwuma ewo information desk no United States so because okwa akoto car na ye de be man wo bra wontu ya teku ana wontu ya simple a nipa na ye adwuma. Inti mina me de me car ma ya me mu say ya adwuma me wo ya details at the end of every month me ne call agreements bosome na obetuatua sika ne kusi say bi amfie mienza mfie na obetua wi a me mu say every month me nsa betumi aye den aka me sika ma ye nkwachiri kura teacher ni ana say nurse ni ana ban adwuma ye ni ko bank say wo ko akọ jebesia ya ye je the payslip me bwana ana wo a wonye aban adwuma wo ko bank say wo ko akọ bobesia ye ma wo de landed property ye japade bi babesia wo wa say in events say wontumi entua japade no ya fatua ya faton e de atua e ka no. But to make a blanket statement say bedru bidibia say Ghana card no kwadwo kuntu a wonye adwuma bi but the fact so kita Ghana card ni nkuto de me de bad Georgia Motors ha on betumi ama me car ama me dia kofia
despite motors
okay fantastic me de ba baby o moton car sa e betumi ama me car dia kofia because me kita Ghana card. How is that possible? Ni amabunu awo my Ghana mu ha hwehwe ne say ya aban His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ban beba no mo benya nyuma aye enye alachi bawumie ya ne ka kire yen say Ghana for to abama wo mo a on be make sure say every single Ghanaian ubenya bank account ya me boana one kura no mo bank account ansa na ban yi ba aban mu in 2017 ene omo bank account na say agu he said no obi o ha na ne bank account ba bia o save your first allied Alhaji Bawumia na pamfo agu first line nti ne woni bank account bi em.
Best point.
Fantastic.
Best point here Juma.
You see
Juma.
Magu wam kura no more bank account no. Magu na free banks. Masewo no sika nyinara. Alhaji Bawumia ya ne ka kire yen say wona etwi okada yi. Obe make sure say ye to aba ne mo 2020 a. Odi okada ba no abeje ka. Odi okada ba no abeje ka. Ya nan kan pese mo nsentro for mo hya se ebisa wo mo say. Alhaji Bawumia sa aboshe ne say wo besesam okada no with eye cars no. Ahina watumi asesa after mfie miensa ye to aba mam from 2020 ebesi sa abere ahina watumi asesa. Alhaji Bawumia ya ne ka kire yen say obe make sure say to aba man in 18 months there's no village in this country a obenya nsuo ene sebe ejanan bia ho hawo ewo ye man mu ha. Ya na me ba na o say me fa gallon simiti mi chimbe ye 1 hour ansa na me nya nsuo agumu dia bedware enkran krom hankasa kwara no omanfo nya nsuo enyare after 3 years o shares abona ye to aba edemao. So for some of us Alhaji Bawumia kasa ye find it tra if you say ye nuanom a ewo enkramo no so omobo prophet Muhammad din a e de omede ka ho ne say onyame asomdwe nya den enka no ba mesre Ghana for anytime bia obebo Alhaji Bawumia edin no ka say enokware enka no because he needs it from 2008 a obeye running mate in another than Kwekufuado ebesi sabre ya mene woka say enokware ba ko say mviri papa ne mu ntofom asem biara a wobeka no woni so asem bia Alhaji Bawumia beka no na adane se nkontompo baby are you
not taking him out of context and now one will say bi o ho a ukita Ghana card na say wo tin number also nti e che say wo ye adwuma wutu ato nti e bia enkoye te say kane no a wo kope bosia ana okoto ade a ye hu akira kwan ye hu baby a wo ye adwuma ye hu hwe nti gi say bia kofa collateral kuku ja bi edipa nti no ka so sesi ayi de bibia ya organization no a wokoto ka na fi omunchen behia no information ni na Ghana card nti obayo data no ye benya nti se o ma wade a ofri wade a on shedan so.
Yeah, is it about say wo hwehwe me a obi hunu me nti na onye dwuma nto kita Ghana card ad mafa card ama
o hwehwe me a obi hunu me ye one ebiem se me edi adanse se me ye adwuma because
ya me ba matter de wo kan nyina ase.
Okay.
But the American say nipa kita Ghana card ewo oman Ghana mu ha no are we saying so omo nyina na ye adwuma na unemployment rate as at 2016 na your ha mu nchemu nwotwe about 8%. Me no kasa nei almost 15%. The last time I checked was 14%.
I agree, but even in the US they have unemployment Anna.
But be unemployment for by ye dutwem. Because we buy no good banks already we are taking a man for out of business. Or policies out there big for mono. A man for a lane for off. Even in private companies, you know, because almost sick on the edge, man, that's what it. And so we a businessman. Now vision is say me maximize me profit. Say we seek on say we need salaries or bear winning returns. Your lane for be off. 15% in the crowd make come once a month. A year projection, it could be more.
Oh.
Now, Ube Ghana for any money akasa. Near Ghana youths, I want no airfest one bet to a ben any money say. Would the blueprint, I would be creative jobs. I'm a man be a year at one anymore. Would you be Gina and be a face a gun and Nina no women in field, no, or no one and they won't know. What can someone Bema Moti Akrabuni Tinko? Yes, Ghana Mabuna, UTV, ne anope, me de manusi na ye fe no. UTV, and ne anope ni say. Na obi biara mfana so entie Alhaji Bawumia ebiem. Ye tie wona bre. E kwan na daye ni mo no nipa ye hia no. The nation builder. Iti kese da so daye pa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The vision say 24-hour economy na or the urban. Kwadwo ebeye adwuma anopa. Abena ye ewia na kwasi aye adwuma anajo sebe ya sika beba obotom car bia wokɔ no opɛ no ukɔgyina despite motors sɛ mepɛ ebia VW atɔ sika wo botom a wo de bɛkɔtɔ ɛnyɛ sɛ wo de Ghana card ekɔgyina na me no ka sɛ Ghana card mitimi de tɔ duane.
Thank you. Ofaya Nsroma. Ofaya.
Yes, I mean not in the doors.
Arrangement. Me say me arrangement. Me the balancing tia. Also share no. And I have bass.
Onye student into
Ofaya. Onye student. Mo so mo na be bo make sure say
open direct rebuttal.
On say no, yes I know to no doors.
Yeah, oh, they are on bomb so. Nti enye say the same people on be bomb so.
Yeah, or you fair. So I wouldn't have to worry too much about you. But clearly no, me that's it. They say Osha say no can say ade no ntiase. And ka also man so because clearly no Okasa ni no what than they say indeed you don't understand.
No, what I meant is that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Men Toronto, but mama akwanya.
Well show from the beginning say ontiase. Unfortunately, once I do on my penny John Drummond, my mama better to say, Moankasa no, you are not abreast with time. Dedika, Minyaba. On my penny, Dr. Mahmoud Baumyaka said, Ghana car, the bedroom maybe Ukuta, Ubit me, Enya car, a triaqua. You someone TV. You try to bring his attention to the Kosovo Manoni. Still now, he went on to display his ignorance about what the vice president said.
The BS are not as a work on a personal, what are you?
In the mattress.
That's it.
If you make our Brasim no boom, Martina Brucci for almost 20 years. My tokada, at the cash at tokada. My use car, your friend car notes, okwa na waji, na wetu and kakranka soda. I work with an organization so ya kojika na bosumi so ya twa na kakranka. So at least I have a fair understanding of what Dr. Baumia is talking about. Minyaba, first of all, Oko car dealership bia kojika. The first thing they ask you, and just take notes so that you learn. The first thing they ask you is your social security number. First thing. I mean, it's not just about car dealership. Everywhere you go in the US, first thing they ask you, social security number. Because out of that social security number, you bet me who credit score. Credit score no say be obo for some time no your transactions. If you are ujisika kitu, if you are utuyaka, you know why you're afraid to be overdraft. If you are unisika, na nso betimi akwa akoto ade na bank na ma ho kwan na yato. Na ebi de ebi aka ho na watua. Say ade ne ba utuyaka. Credit card so ogia ye discount ma wa o limit no udi ma ne bro so udi wie na utimi tua anase untimi tua. All these things no is embedded in your social security. So just a click on the button no your information will drop out. And then they can determine say what assume see now obtain no say we can now open yen fama wa na say me yen fama based on your credit score and your credit history, so that the company can be assured say yeah the car name wa ubetimi ababetua. So what usually they do is say when they look at your credit score, usually between maybe about 250 to 750 with all costs the highest. What I say? So based on your credit score, so your credit score because if you are on get the new koya, amount interest now be your account so higher. So for example, if your iPhone will return 1,000 Ghana cedis, offer your equity because of good credit score no, you do not offer you the same 1,000 cedis, but for your big piano, if you are 5 Ghana cedis every month, your poma be no, or be to every month to be 15 Ghana. So by the time I don't know, every 1,000 Ghana cedis, that's the value of a bit to every 1,150 at the end of every 1 year. No, but you know what to every 1,003 because you have a bad credit score, and they're able to determine that because of your social security or meeting that checking system. And Ghana no we are now na me adom said Dr. Baumia drink no we have a common system. We have everything on a particular pad.
me kai enye so onti ase o pese o chese nipa no oni adwuma ye
you
can say be 15% unemployment rate nti so oni adwuma ye a o fa social security number ne we ye ko ne record ni mu a eye kokoro
no I want to so I confused
ebio sabi Dr. Baumiaka se okuta Ghana card na se okọ enye nko a so okay I think I'm expecting that you would have understood it. We are about to have a credit core system in Ghana and using the Ghana card as the anchor in Nsroma because it's embedded with a lot of your information. So based on that, so you're Jumani, that's an open ABA and saying Eddie Abon Hobra with that credit Ghana card. You can go there and they look at your credit score, and majority of the time again, because of where I come from, ultimately because of a credit score into me yetimi be kan ma wa untua initial deposit bia
nti Ghana ha no ye be build credit score na ye dey aye ni sa na because paper no baby a ebia ampomanya no paper ne say he indicated that all a purchaser may require for the credit transaction with the automobile company will be the Ghana card. Adding that this has been made possible by the digitalization. So the Ghana card, it doesn't make mention of you being employed or you having a good credit score.
Kofi Nangas on Tiasi.
Oh, can you just Kofi Koso.
Sisa.
Yes, Kofi.
What the president has said. And our vice president can. Again, as simple as say, Oko, definitely say Oko baby akoto adia, and now Oko jika. You must be able to show say you have the opportunity and the capability to pay. Say you unkasi mikuta Ghana card inti. Say maybe out of this mischievous. Unkasi maybe mikuta Ghana card, and because vice president akasi mikuta Ghana card inti no, mako maybe a shop way. That's not how it works. What he is simply saying is that when you have all the criteria and you rightly mentioned and you educated us say they look at certain factors. Amongst them is your ability for them and the ability for them to find you when they need you, and that is security. And that Ghana card provides that security that you are looking for.
Now I want to ask this question. Banks in the baby now no. And our banks are honey. Me cry me te ha omunimo and so call be catch us for collateral bra. If we say sikadi or ye jeje for nipa so ye carbonica prim or bobusi anwa.
Because we don't have a credit score. We don't have a credit score system.
Ti ebe to me abemu sa say oh me ye adwuma wa ha me o UTV uni me ya kuna many me kita Ghana card me o credit score free me car for collateral company no betimi a survive adenti na me banks ni bi entimi and survive.
Yeah, the credit core system no is different from what we are operating currently. Okay. Because what we are operating currently is your discretion. Yes, minimum yeah, but I don't know yes financial transactions. Because there's no system that is able to tell me yes financial transactions. What I say, beyond ABR, Udis can to bank or salary near the other transactions that you perform, it's not captured. They make what I say. So, for example, ABR, Uye Juma, beside UTV, Oko Kranioma, because of now Ghana card in T, and because of your TIN number in T, the system is able to detect, say indeed, yeah, that's other businesses apart from so Uye Juma or UTV in Kwa. We are able to determine that because of the system now that have been provided. Through the ideas of the vice president. Today, Samini Kofi Amia, Ebia, me ye Juma with UTV. Now Ebia me cry me free China by Everton. Hitherto you may have known. Ka Ebia who teacher need to know a cockrane not or to Toma a teacher for. You know. Now because of the system you have in Intino, because of your TIN number no, and before you pay for the duty no, it has to be inputted, it has to be added. So now we can be able to tell say as soon as you are not been say or yeah, Juma, in addition to me teacher Juma now or you know, and that makes it easier. And that's the work of the Ghana card now. Said probably he's a smart guy, he understand. But out of ABR or person mischievous in Tino Esa. But yeah, maybe money upon no I can say no I can't be say your man penny abedi so can be a me engine because the work be a enya no cre embem. it's unfortunate. One Trinidad embassy so. The vice president, as far as I remember, back in 2013 in Canada, or promising Ghana forces ye to Abama MPP for we will have an addressing system in Ghana, a better addressing system in Ghana. Me no say. So all fill forms are. Don't you have a portion where you put your address there, and we can locate you where you are? We do have it. Or say your bottom and all bar process because of port insensitivity and all the troubles that goes on in the port. No, we have a system called the paperless system at the port, and then at the comfort of my home in the US, Mishipika fee US by Ghana, I'm able to pay my duty whilst I sit in the comfort of my home in New York. This was made possible by the vice president. Now, no, on my penny. In fact, a certificate champion there, so you can't see Ghana card. Kufobe to us, and this is about 8 years they couldn't do it. On my penny, they cheap promising Ghana for say you have a Ghana card, and the majority of Ghanaians have a Ghana card. If you be interoperability, almost $4 billion on the coye, the 4 million Ghana citizens in a year, and no to be transacting businesses all around. And then the last one, but on the win. I saw my penny, they cheap maybe can say Ghana need be a bank account. And that has not happened. You go banks near there. Really, Momo is not a banking system for you. How you can transact business, you can have your money, and no one any Momo Ghana, and no one any Momo. So I believe and I think, and I will have this discussion with my team.
Your banking system.
And your banking system, sister, I didn't your banking system. Okay. I'll have a discussion with.
One answer a question. So set I know bisa. And then a banking system.
Oh, the banking system is one you're able to save your money at a particular place. And then you are able to access your money and use it for the purposes for which we can here for. And the Momo gives you that opportunity. You're able to save the money on your phone. You can access it and pay for it.
The Bank of Ghana and regulate you, and no regulating Momo nepe.
Meche say the promise made by the vice president that every Ghanaian will have a bank account through the Momo system. No? We have an access where we can transact business just like the banking system.
Thank you.
Because
it's difficult for me to make pick a party because
party
yes, for now, yes, sister. And it's Ed say you can speak your mind. It's like since 2012, August 30th, 2012, up to and now me don't hear. Me near Juma. Me call office BR say me koye a Juma. Since that time to now, applications are natural basin there. I'm say I want to believe so they just throw it somewhere. And at my age, and you're saying that maybe some cultural applications be to cram a jai. I'm not sure what didn't be so. Prior to every election period, there are policy ideas a free candidate for in chamber. And many of them, and I say many at times, there will be one that will shake the foundation of the political fraternity. Not a very topical discussion. One of such was the free SHS. Second of such is the 24-hour economy. And then we will say the same candidate and I say other henchmen of the various parties. They throw in other policy ideas. For me, as I sit here, and I'm a BMT. So you can't see the Ghana card, a car. I see say a positive idea that is not feasible now, as we see it. A long-term proposal and a project and an idea. So what kind of pilot here? Fine. But in it piloting scheme, a bit favor just a few people. Just if from 2012 up to date, na minya jumanya will be or enough before even 2012. Remember Juma say and stand on Juma say and stand media say Juma. We are talking about unemployment rate in this country, where you said jobs are not being created for people to work in. And the NBC I want to say indeed a very possible say the Ghana card a better car. How many people can enroll on that. Obi apeka account, remember, sabi, omo ton ade wo kwan we. It is somebody's hope say, sa ade na wo ton no, oni nanu na mu saa ebi adache ono so obetumi atoka bi atwi. Na say ese the Ghana card beto beto car. What are the pillars that ebetumi ama sa ade na ye feasible? And you see people are kicking against it because one, you will memo ha, and this same administration, I can say, they will bring about a sky train. So there be a traffic, I will or many mono, a back off. And no mutri hooping $2 million, and my company be. And one sem, sister, ya, and a seminoti high you can. The previous administration, at the Ayalolo bus be brewed by cars need go airport. And before they left office, through the same digitalization issue I can't be seen, they were using swapping card and as a card system to board Ayalolo. And to who do unit and as a good card as well. Who do what there's no your friends say, mate near or baby scanner said, be baby 77 motor much. Just like what Kofi Baby away or USA. The trains and the buses. Ufwa obi antim no kan say alajo la pass da bi. Automated system a car no nkasa e ba bedu ha. The system will tell you say ye ba bedu la pass. Ye ba bedu your friend say fanchine bra so and so. Nche say obi ani ho a obetre mu na sab na ya kan say ne motor mu enye correct. Now to use Ghana card to buy a card. And who be here ye pass a new may here ye be create go. And until that fat payment, me shall see a fee say. As I say, a buy kasa. In fact, to even link it in that 24-hour economy, it's a very successful. It will mean say a buy kasa be invested to ensure say or be employing for more or more added value to the produce. Well, the farm gates are horrible. Now, would Jama a private sector said the NPP say they will give money to private sector to expand. Private sector will pay the profit. In this open so 24-hour. One kasa ube ton sasi and as ube jen sasi. No what be man no fanko for or more year juma 24/7 they are producing. And a private sector no so obuano. Ube making sure so the necessary facilities, water, electricity, technology be up to date. And sana. But this particular promise, Ura Dr. Baumia Edebano, maybe try and say enye, but I don't see it in the next 4 or 5 years. See, you been one, Nipa, what do you hear? And which is Excellency Dr. Baumia. As I can say, in a few, what he wants to see is that in a few years now, we will place all the commercial vehicles to electric. The definition of a few is not more than 3 years. Yes.
Paper can soon. And the Daily Guide say Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has hinted that Ghanaians will soon buy cars on credit using Ghana cards.
Soon, go and check the definition of soon.
Okay, let's check the definition of soon.
You understand? Maybe Doc before Webster, and Webster will do it. You see, maybe Doc before he comes out to make such pronouncement, he should think through carefully. Now, one share the period. I was telling the 24-hour economy, don't just say it like that. But say by our second year in our administration, we would have gotten to a leveler. Not just say we have been able to hook a lot of private companies onto the 24-hour.
I got Oxford rather.
Right. Okay.
I'll say in or after a short time.
Exactly. What is the meaning of short?
In a short time. Synonym shortly, presently, in the near future, before long.
Exactly. So all these jargons and synonyms, before long, in the near future. Of course, in the near future can be more than 100 years to come, though, right? But then, if the word soon, by definition, it means say within this shortest possible time, you need to use Ghana card, Atoka. It is not feasible at this time. I would say in the write-up, I mentioned say a company be partner also to
solar taxi.
Solar taxi.
Yeah.
These things, you see, when you are doing something that will benefit the totality of the country, do it in such a way that you don't discriminate certain group of people. Koko kuyani no. Ede no be or the Ghana card beto car. Right? Nkrofo be
koko kuyani juma na oye.
Also mo juma na seasonal. Yentwi omuka monthly.
But of fire juma.
Minim sa yentwi omuka monthly. And no mo koko scan e ba bisa ho sesa ya he.
2 seasons ya okoko bre won kinkamu bre nti terms a company ne be koka wote
nti obeti
be twa no mfie mienu ana be twa no mfie miensa nti koko bre no a wote baati dodo no bia obetua sei nkinkamu bre obetua sei obetua no heya mfie num heya mfie miensa no mo mu twa no bosome kra se ebi mutimi tokas ana oye mortgage mfie du no oda so
so ko credit score ho asem
ani
credit score no eno ane say bia sabi this system bia beto ho na bia mete ma bobo say our best points no ma ko bobo say our friends special eyes ni nyina ye banks ma ko bobo special cola no ma na ni tue ni mo no bia mtumi tue no wa no ana say mtumi ntue akwa the system will tell you say yeah akwa bobo say our special cola we say akwa bobo nso wo special eyes and wa bobo wa best point o mtumi ntue ni tue na etwitwitwiri. The system will detect it straightforward. Say you are not credit worthy in terms of say person amount loan. Yes, now NBC who say this particular credit score person dey ban. And your bad is very good.
Finch the moon or the credit score no account. That's how me catch any credit score. They can coffee credit score no be can she anyone.
Without the credit score no. And ye more no ye dey sika call banks see. And indigenous banks no.
And I could say mobile money a banking system.
I can't say that because mobile money no there's a cap.
Right.
What do you say go bank? There's no limit. Then to me mechanic say what the 2 billion be go bank into mobile money there's a limit unless they open it for you and they cannot may say 7%.
What they to so they are limiting is so withdraw and a limit was.
There's emphasis here the money I'm able to be mobile account. I think my dear is it 30,000 or whatever it is.
Oh sir, I didn't know so they too much
you have to ask them to open whatever it is. How much you have to withdraw in normal. Of course, I think what you have to put in there's no limit. But you ask a very very important question. A Bank of Ghana and a regulatory year then probably we can say it's part of the banking system. This is a convenience way of banking. But it has not come to the mainstream of banking system. I stand to be corrected.
Right.
Why? Okay.
We know them as a communication organization and idea profitable exploring technology. Intina mi bisa ko Vicente omo we omo no wan regulate because you say communication is in a regulate but mobile money aspect in which we don't
for
know.
It to come
it's
under
Bank of Ghana and regulate
Bank of Ghana has to regulate them.
Okay.
You understand? Yet in conclusion, a lot of people will be sidelined in terms of this using Ghana card to buy because go form go Bank of Ghana. Kitwebi. And a Juman soon ni ho. In conclusion, no. Me call them.
We call it my encouraging ko farm am do mska ko to ba.
Na banks no way. Anya na mo gunu no.
Thank you, Mama.
In conclusion, me call baby and saying madam for me ko try na nchen.
I mean, I'll share me boss obeba me nchen.
Madam for me ko try na nchen no.
Oh fire, we can see your answer. Sense no.
Madam for me ko try na nchen. Wo UK. We a student too on scholarship. Wo ye adwuma. Wa toka. Ka na yes what didn't scare to you. Wo ye adwuma wo ye student. Wo wie MSc wo ye masters, wo ye PhD, ya FAMU Sunderland University OTG, right? Students, can they have that same facility in this country? University students, a polytechnic student who wants to own a car and drive to school.
Could be you one. Well, social media car 1 minute.
I will share me bon. You see, my yen to say a brilliant idea be a discussion.
Yeah, I laugh.
Tuesday 5th December. Tuesday 5th December 2017. Ghana Web. Every Ghanaian will own a bank account in 2018, Dr. Bawumia. Now, Omikisa statement we were brana or Kasa Kofi Annan India Center in Accra. Nampacho, with your permission. Dr. Bawumia, who was speaking at the official opening ceremony of the 2017 Innovation Week at the Kofi Annan India Center in Accra, expressed that over 70% of the Ghanaian population do not have bank accounts. And hence, the government's decision to assist every Ghanaian to own one. Okay. There's a big difference between bank account and Momo account. what share yen boss by 2018 will be a benya bank account and they were 2023 yen ya bank account kura waguno ama nenko for kakra kita om no de hye om pass and it to form e de hye. You turn around to tell us say Obona will share and you say we be a kita a Momo account into a bank account. You see, we are not dummies. That's Rekufi. Baby, I will free air. You cannot be telling them some of these things.
You see,
what can some more what? It would deem and say, we have it.
We have it.
Momo account is a bank account. In any case, addressing system now, what can was I mean, yeah. It started under Julius Zebra as local government minister. Honorable Nilante Mabreso started naming streets. Sabrina Dr. Mahmoud Baumia now Haji Baumia, or maybe vice president too. Paperless system. I can was him. The brainchild of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. When there be a money man is there, you jump into the fray. Now more take credit, more appropriate credit for near man. Move da monte da. Ghana card, Juma, the likes of Yaira Kwakumu and Ghana card office or Azana mobile bank.
YG 2 minutes, thank you.
Maybe man no see na ya fe na wakokin kan oni man. Asema ye kan ye simple ya. Mikita Ghana card na me ni adwuma e useless. Sebe. Mean to me nko sa me kotoka me ni adwuma. Yen kwa na no ye adwuma no. At the end of every month, yeah, sika hina ye ditua inflation da almost 35%. It will sika na wo jimpo free buy her at the end of every month no. Inflation ya mamo boni ya jini na. How do you buy a car?
Thank you. Rama said, good morning, sister. Please, I think government should explain to graduate unemployed nurses and midwives why there's a staff shortage at the various hospitals, but it's failing to push us to the facilities. What hurts most is we renew our license every year without working. Says, good morning. This NDC man has forgotten that Mahama was owing teachers for 3 bad years. Okay, so Edie Enono. Rosie or Rose Yam says, I'm just loving the discussion. And the Piaga says, NDC has nothing new to offer this country, Ghana. Okay, offer out, non doable. Let's do it this way, 3 minutes. Minority say, every economy a woman who chill dear. Ye hear say Bema company be a tax waiver. Enti, almost peg. Say, Omontia say, my companies be more. Bear 45 companies, tax waivers.
Not just economy a woman, we are a developing country. And to be very honest and so on, and can say these are some of the things and can you between me private sector na any right. But over the period, so be kind of observant as well. Who said tax waivers are the amma and conform has not benefited the country any or more pay Jumayan. You are witnessing in this country where Nkrofo, Ghana for and as a wholly owned company from a foreign company. Obeba na ose oba beye dwuma se obefa local people. Now why you say near man of tax waiver boom it be 10 years. It be 5 years no man. Emra no so pe na cause some company ni dim. Say iPhone 32 and I say a Samsung 32 no cause some iPhone Pro Max. Unya free what time ne be so no sign the akoha. Inti enu adienya up to this level. Tax waivers, no, it has not benefited Ghana. Now, interestingly, and also another twist to tax waivers, in recent times, let's say, the tax waivers are given to cronies. Tax waivers are given to people among numa umbedino and faster employment situation are better. Internet tax waiver now the mass any panel and so far so and say. What is the meaning of tax waiver? Say sebi. Oba be adwuma bi. Na ye pese adwuma no koso na obi nya bi enti. Duties bi mo ho na say eto bi ese wutua afibia ana say depend man no the way o ma hwehwe saa to no say the situa no. Di say ya afi na yetua saa to na aka wutua no. Ye say ye ma wuntua say de be ya wo betumi de akrokro adwuma no na nkrofo so anya bi me tie me nua Richard Achampon is it MP4 Bia East, and I don't know if he's the one who suggested it, but there's this point of view say instead say man for tax waivers rather than a particular tax now my any a buying stake in the company. Now I buy making sure say this quota na media amount person with the employ nkrofo so and so to help reduce the unemployment rate. And I agree with the minority to review the tax waivers now ye dia come na ye investigate who are behind the companies, because BBB are metetete any normal be am observe me hono yes it appears say NPP the direction they are going, they are not sure of being in power, and so they more or less want to do certain things. So I'm calling about the time so I'm better about so whichever to favor them. Say a man no because what? So Mufi Abemwa would have given tax waivers to a certain group of, and I say they become more be a no offer CBO say no see hotel be 40 something million.
The poor man hotel project.
You understand? Until here by the time MPP be decide on stay Abemno. Now you are buying sika and I say the taxpayers' money. You are check nkrofo kuobi. And yeah, at the papa be na sebi. Ombabe na bua omano nkanko because you who tax waivers are break. They should investigate the people behind.
We are breast open no more tax waiver.
Oh no, I mean it has been even Nsroma breast there were tax waivers. But the tax waivers should benefit the indigents and even government.
Now then, no any education, so indigents need so such opportunity where you apply because I had there over OGR reform said Ghana for companies they don't apply, but you are no more but tax waivers here the foreign companies. The
word is education. We don't, you see, we've been made to the point say we don't know our rights. Insurance companies say. Look, it is the most lucrative business to go into, insurance company. But among them, the most accromfo, among us, free, among fire free. For Sika Court, one better down insurance companies. There is not a organ, a power, or carrying accident. Now we call her. I'm ready. Insurance company. DVLA, no one, among like, so walk up with accident. And you want to fend down back. Look, Madame will be an a accident. UK, they are not making a accident. Or be a train hockey, BMW X1. You're train a keke, and yes, and be a boo. Or no, Nippon or the battery, or besides, insurance, never insurance. Because everything is linked to everywhere, easy. Until within the moment, I saw Mokoya car or Mamma and a car for. Insurance company, Ben organ, how car going accident.
You know the rental company.
Yes, but it is your insurance company that will arrange it. Nippon or the Pemian or battery until say car no 2 days near the bay. Nippon or the Pemian on rent or no insurance company, the car immediately to see your how far until second baby. Do we have it here? We can't come now, we call Ghana insurance, so we call juicy car. One thing,
insurance, mutual every month and every year.
Yearly.
But no, you train every month.
So do say the train every year.
So I'm going to be a Jumanoa. One for the Yason Faso. And you're Ghana for 9 in Yason Faso. So what I believe the education should be, and I say we are doing the corner say, indeed, some person more drink Trebi and Arts in Kobe say, if you are Bamun call for an answer abandoned for. Really, are they going to build those factories or are they going to establish those businesses for which are Ghana for being home for so? But so to me, I kind of blank, like no kind of say, yeah,
tra. You want to say blanket, so tra.
Sorry, I don't like it. It's a mean issue. Also, be a diplomat, so sometimes I'm very careful.
Oui. I think it's all better now.
Me, I believe that because I don't understand a political party who, on one hand, Namia Dumene, and Mammy can say, Mania G Ama or Mampenida that John Dramani Mahama. Mania German power, because for the first time in its political history, it appears that we have a policy proposal we are discussing as a nation. I free in chain. And I'm glad the Canadian Cabo about say, she Ushin boot, and I say in Kuko Bunkitin policy, and now you see much. And I say, you must be in Preco, Muni, and Samanko. For now, we are discussing a policy. I mean, says you come a baby film, and I'm glad. But on one hand, you are saying that you want to bring a policy, Abema Ghana for Edumaya. On the other hand, your parliamentarians are in parliament fighting businesses to come to Ghana.
How are they fighting?
My waivers, no, me say tax waivers no are meant for businesses. Through the one district, one factory, omo person be bien fi ma wo Ghana. And I'm actually mu say enye sika say be yetam ede ma omo. Nemo to bi a ye de chiche omo say de be ya omo ifidi a omo kraba ani nyoma bi no omo betimi a ehe omo kakra. No mo ba no be bien fi nyuma no Ghana for na be nya bia ye no wantimi abeya wo 24 hours say in the next 50 years wo ba abema. O say that monti ase. So that is why I stated say ye dom kuma no any NDC for no sebi diamo ye no trimupo attachre no enya ade ebeboa ebi o sa wo hwe a sa restrictions here what import here e dey bay in the same line the same thing
o ma che say sa tax waiver ya aban ne pe no ehwehwe aso eni nyina so na ase ye kwan a opese wo fa so di oman ni dream enti omo de hu ni se bere a ye wo mi sika no a omo nte ase ma ne nko no se dollars are $449 million ni chi Ghana cedis are 5 billion cedis and omo say e sika betimi aboa wo man no e beti 449 million $446,247 million which is 5.5 billion cedis and omo say baby amodi ade na efa no ye hu ni se eye kana na ade enti ye ma ne mfa ho eno no sa no mo ade ma ne bone
yes enyina so no wahifa where is the evidence presumptive imaginary whimsical obi adwin eye ne se ebi a say me say and then let me say this of our can supposedly allegedly o man penin nya na no offense also or the man tax we what the bear
so obi no man can so man pen
obi that's what is alleged in the system also be a hotel anya bia ni die mu anya obrase mu a hotel no na be ye adwuma wo ho anya Ghana ni na be ye adwuma wo ho you see
na bia na be a hotel a wonya sa inside
if you apply obi apply ni yan farmer no ni wa ya be this an common say obi apply for tax waiver yan farmer no
okay
bottom line is that ye pese enuma ba if you enuma ba na Ghana for nya bi ye ebo mo bra these are some of the things we must do yes
wait one they show one factory for no are we not supporting them as a state already and today no musa beji waiver nya no ti na be a minority for ni say no say 1D1FO say under GIPCO they are already enjoying certain incentives to me sign for being
in fact okay the budget statement in 2021 I think we have 350 something or 40 something cabinet agreed and presented to parliament say Ombema incentives including tax waivers as part of the policy of one district one factory. So besides the universal bank merchant bank emano and the exim bank emano and your money be a includes tax
9 years and no so if you don't the minority have grounds to say kakra but already no way more no benya package
but any chance you sister this
training was saying
but at the same time you must mind
thank you
for me clearly if they have any reason as to why say the amount percent tax waivers they should give it amount farmer with evidence not when say you doing say corruption room you doing say the woman
show some evidence
no dey Wadarum any dey
amount can be say a investment are Ghana be equity share wo mu dia
because suggestion adwin kira aba on board and wait for me good but say we can say na say bi inyaso ni dia dabraka wan dwin on mine no
Dallas yanko
that's NDC from 92 I bad being ya kwa elections be ya the policies are eto adwin mu eneba sloganeering
kafra asum eto asum
okay eto asum ene ye deba say ye this slogan e to be so kekari ni elections no enye sa na NDC ye ya manyosem na ansana ye beko elections bia no say be opponent in the manifesto eba at least so okenkan e be hunu ne ewom na wo kan wasem a wahu se ne a wo beka no me a me spend be 2 minutes we chiri ho na ye 2020 manifesto niema ye kan mu na ma briefu kofi me say wan kan bi
so pesa o
24
ah to mean cancer assembly
o kofi an kan ye manifesto e clear
when he said
mpatoti or say this is the first time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no mami yeti
gently said
no I'm making a point tie me or say this is the first time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at the policy bi aba you discuss it. And I am telling him
previously no enke hwe and then ana kukobu policy
so already kono why did kukobu policy by and I am telling him say because one kind is a manifesto and all kinds ensem no all kinds ensem no manifesto kita me 2020 me say yeah kinda
I see
yeah kinda as a regional communications officer 4 years ago.
This is your
in
manifesto.
Eastern region.
This is your manifesto.
MPP manifesto. You almost share your Eastern region. And then there is a difference between one and one kind. What kind of one kind your kind? Mane ya page 104 in 2020 manifesto. Okay. We made mention of these 3 shifts a year, creating a 3-shift economy. A year 24-hour economy a year can once me. In our 2020 manifesto. Ghana for and to abana mayen and a year baby in 2024 near my Ghana for who say baby economy ne edru near between change economy na Ghana for one toma and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne 24-hour economy meba now nientia minority for say tax waivers aban be person de be ma 45 companies ono gituma enye yi no ebini say ya 7 years in here, for the first time in the history of this country, we see about 4th Republic.